Do you ever wish that you could freeze time? Do you ever wish to look back on one moment and hold on to it forever? That is what one still photograph can do. With just a click of a button, along with a quick flash, you can hold on to one memory forever that brings back millions of emotions and feelings from that time. Photography has evolved to become one of the major uses of technology in the world today. Understanding the history and the technology advancements, along with its impact on society, will help see how photography has become one of the major roles in today's world. I am Jessica Clement. Photography is not so simple. Rather, though, photography is very complex, along with its history. The first camera that was ever invented was the camera obscura, created by Joseph Nassif. The camera obscura was rooting down from the Latin word darkened chamber, was a darkened enclosure in which light would pass through a small hole and reflect an image that was on the outside and project it inverted onto the opposite side of the surface. Then, later in the 1930s to the 1950s, film became very popular. This was the second use of photography and it was the most because it started becoming more convenient to people. But then in the 20th century, then came digital photography, and that is still what we use today in many of our cameras, like the Nikon and the Canon camera, and digital photography is also on our phones. It has become the most major convenient and also cheapest way because we have it right with us majorly of the time. Although some photographers still like to use film because they like the authentic look of the film photos. Although the history has also changed, so has the technology within photography. The technology first of the camera has changed a lot. We've gone from, like I said, the camera obscura to Nikon cameras to big digital cameras to big film cameras with different types of lenses and different types of flashes and just many different ways that the camera has changed to ways that we never thought we would before. Editing in photography has also changed majorly. The editing, now we have apps and we have different ways that we can change the lighting and the contrast in different colors. But back then, editing, when they first started editing photos, they used to burn the photos or they would smudge it with their fingers. Along with the apps, they have evolved tremendously. Sometimes there would be a haze that you would just put over photos when you first started editing photos, but now we have Photoshop, we can use AI to help us edit. We also can use many different ways to change any color that we're wearing. As if I'm wearing green, I can change it to I'm wearing pink, and that used to never be able to happen. Skewing away from just the technology and the camera itself and the history, photography has a major impact on society. Photography impacts people very personally, just like many families do family photo shoots and you can capture moments like the first laugh of a baby or the saddest moment, or you can capture your family finally getting together for the first time in forever. Photography has also become a major way of communication. So you can communicate how you're feeling by just taking a picture of yourself, or you can communicate to your family where you are or what it looks like, and you can capture that moment in nature and send it to people. You can also see how photography has impacted society on the historical moments, because we can see in our textbooks today, there are pictures from back a couple years ago when historical moments were happening, or in the 1930s when photography was first coming to life, and we can see historical moments and we can feel those emotions that were happening right then and there in history and in that time. By just looking at a single photo, you can feel 1,000 different emotions, and you can learn from those photos instead of just imagining and reading what is happening. Photography also helps with culture. Many people may never get to leave the United States in their life, and they may never get to leave their house just due to certain reasons. And in photography, you can see what is happening on the other side of the world instantly. Just like in Japan, we can see what their culture looks like, what they wear, what they do, how their schooling is, just by looking at photos. We can understand what is happening there, and they can see what is happening with us. You can also learn how many different lives are alike and different, and you can learn about how you may want to dress and how you may feel about a certain subject just because of photography. In conclusion, understanding the history of photography and the technology advancements that have come to play and how it impacts society will help us see how photography has become such a major role in today's world. Thank you, and here are my sites.